and far from bliss. And each and every child is emotionally affected by this. I think it's time we bring the dark to the light, to stop the 911 calls in the middle of the night. So I'm reaching out, and I hope it's worth my while. It's erasing the bond between man, woman, and child.
Domestic violence, it has to stop. The kids are crying, it's coming down like raindrops. It's a behavior we can't condone, it's breaking up our happy homes. Let's get it together, talk about it, and let them know that they're not alone. Domestic violence, it has to stop. The kids are crying, it's coming down like raindrops. It's a behavior we can't condone, it's breaking up our happy homes. Let's get it together, talk about it, and let them know that they're not alone.
Stop and think about it. This is your significant other. Why would you want your son to see you put your hands on his mother? Leaving little man shook. It's really a bad look. How he's supposed to concentrate and keep his head in the book? How's your daughter supposed to look up to dad? Don't you know that you're the first male role model she's ever had? The saying goes, a woman wants a man like a father. So what you telling her? To accept this from a man? You gotta watch how you talk to whoever you with. Words hurt, people forgive, but never forget. I guess it's up to a teen to teach these things. It's just my expression of how YMC sting. Seek a shelter from mayhem, they won't doubt you. And there's all types of programs to reach out to. No need to feel ashamed, cause it's not your fault. And this evil way of living has to come to a halt.
Domestic violence, it has to stop. The kids are crying, it's coming down like raindrops. It's a behavior we can't condone, it's breaking up our happy homes. Let's get it together, talk about it, and let them know that they're not alone. Domestic violence, it has to stop. The kids are crying, it's coming down like raindrops. It's a behavior we can't condone, it's breaking up our happy homes. Let's get it together, talk about it, and let them know that they're not alone.
This is Young Motive, and I have a topic today that's often overlooked. Domestic violence. Domestic violence wears many tags. So QueenAfi, if you're listening, check it out.
Domestic violence, it has to stop. The kids are crying, it's coming down like raindrops. It's a behavior we can't condone.
Your desktop.
Let's get it together, talk about it.
I'm gonna do that this late.
Young Motive is back with the topic of the day. It's a crucial situation that we all must pay more attention to. It's bringing families down. You know me, I know the truth, and I'ma spread it around. It usually happens at home behind closed doors, but it's spread through high schools and college dorm floors. For the victim, it's like they got their head in the noose from all the scars of the physical and verbal abuse. Men do it to women, women do it to men. It's a cycle that happens over and over again. It's disturbing and far from bliss, and each and every child is emotionally affected by this. I think it's time we bring the dark to the light, to stop the 911 calls in the middle of the night. So I'm reaching out, and I hope it's worth my while. It's erasing the bond between man, woman, and child.
Domestic violence, it has to stop. The kids are crying, it's coming down like raindrops. It's a behavior we can't condone, it's breaking up our happy homes. Let's get it together, talk about it, and let them know that they're not alone. Domestic violence, it has to stop. The kids are crying, it's coming down like raindrops. It's a behavior we can't condone, it's breaking up our happy homes. Let's get it together, talk about it, and let them know that they're not alone.
Stop and think about it. This is your significant other. Why would you want your son to see you put your hands on his mother? Leaving little man shook. It's really a bad look. How he's supposed to concentrate and keep his head in the book? How's your daughter supposed to look up to dad? Don't you know that you're the first male role model she's ever had? The saying goes, a woman wants a man like a father. So what you telling her? To accept this from a man, you gotta watch how you talk to whoever you with. Words hurt, people forgive, but never forget. I guess it's up to a team to teach these things. It's just my expression of how YMC sting. Seek a shelter from mayhem, they won't doubt you. And there's all types of programs to reach out to. No need to feel ashamed, cause it's not your fault. And this evil way of living has to come to a halt.
Domestic violence, it has to stop. The kids are crying, it's coming down like raindrops. It's a behavior we can't condone. It's breaking up our happy homes. Let's get it together, talk about it, and let them know that they're not alone. Domestic violence, it has to stop. The kids are crying, it's coming down like raindrops. It's a behavior we can't condone. It's breaking up our happy homes. Let's get it together, talk about it, and let them know that they're not alone.
Peace and love, everybody. Peace and love. I'm so sorry for the, what you call just do what it want to do. Technology. I'm so sorry for the technology, but we are live here, ready to go. This month is Sexual Abuse Awareness Month, and Sisterhood and I are on live tonight to have that conversation with you all tonight. I'm so happy to be on a live with you all tonight, talking about sexual abuse. April is Sexual Abuse Awareness Month. So we definitely are glad to have you all here with us tonight to discuss the topic, because it is a very crucial topic, and people need help with the topic, because it's touchy, it's serious, especially when you're a child and you experience sexual abuse. Like, it's horrific, it's horrifying when you have children that are being sexually molested or sexually abused. Child on child sexual abuse is a real thing. It's a real piece that we gotta come to grips with, and understanding what that means for our children at our dinner table, and how that can look for our children at the dinner table. We want everybody at the dinner table to be safe. We don't want no one to have to deal with sexual abuse, but we do. We have our young men and we have our young girls who deal with sexual abuse, and it's the conversation that we are still afraid to have as family. And so that is something that I love to do, is have these conversations around the many tags of domestic violence, which, if you follow me, QueenAfi domestic violence with many tags, we say it wear many tags. And so the first tag is verbal abuse. Second tag is emotional abuse. Third tag is financial abuse. Fourth tag, sexual abuse. Fifth tag, physical abuse. So we say that it wears all 5 of these tags in domestic violence relationships. And some of us would say, spiritual abuse. But a lot of the research shows that spiritual abuse comes from a spiritual environment. As the abuser, I always let you guys know that spiritually, I never knew what the victim was praying for. I never knew what he wanted in terms of God and how that relationship went. But I could use it as a tactic to sort of coach my victim. Hey, Rene Michelle, I'm just going to girl tonight. Hey, says Sisterhood is coming in the building with us. Thank y'all for chiming in. We are so glad to be here tonight with all of you. I got my teal on. Renee, you missing your teal tonight, girl. I got my teal on for the family. Hunty. It's okay, though, because you be out here working these streets. I can't hear you. You be out here in these streets, boo.
And I have a topic today.
Can you hear me? Because you're about to get a pay. Yeah. You don't even got a red teal. I'm sorry. I take that back. You don't even. Hold on. This sister right here, y'all, she don't even have a red teal. Let me say something to you. This will here be in the streets, honey. Okay, that is known that sexual abuse is a thing. It's a whole thing, and we got to get ourselves together and start finding some momentum at our dinner tables and having this conversation. We are waiting for Mama Sheree and our sister Tia gonna come on with us. And this is where we talk about those umbrella topics of domestic violence. And so tonight we are donating this to our brothers and sisters who have been sexually abused, sexually harassed, sexually assaulted, molested, raped, all of those things that we incarceration. We have women and men that are raped, incarceration. So that's a huge piece as well. Incarceration can just be an umbrella topic all by itself. Like, we would have to cover that by itself. Let me tell you, it's funny things going on with incarceration, sexual abuse, especially among the men, because the men, honey, I learned that when they call you daddy, when you got other men in the prison calling you daddy and everybody pointing to go see daddy, that's a huge thing. This person here is having sexual activity with multiple people, males, potentially in prison, right? And it's one of those things where they catch you at your weakest moment. You just got there and you don't really know nobody. You trying to figure your stuff out, but you hungry. You want something to eat. Okay. And canteen can take a minute to come. Okay, so they gonna offer you canteen, they offer you coffee, all that. And when you get your canteen, you gotta pay back probably double of what you bought from that. Right? And then daddy in turn say, if you don't have it to pay me back, then you gonna have to bend over and pay me back. I said, shut the front door. I heard that. I said, oh my goodness, this is the whole subject that we need to discover by itself. Sexual abuse incarceration. When your sexual abuse happening behind those prison walls, honey. Okay, behind those prison walls. And we know about how sisters can hold each other down. They can hold a girl down and just take advantage of her inside those prison walls. Now, Queen was in them prison walls, but I didn't make it far enough for somebody to pull my pants down. Shorty. It ain't going down like that over here now. We need to talk. We need to have a conversation. We need to talk about what's going on here. Please, do not come for me. Do not come for me on the other side of them walls like that. Do not come for me like that. That's not going to be a pretty sight. You see what I mean? When you do that to a female, like it can break that female down already further than what she is. I'm sure she done had a lot of sex before she done got there, depending on what her lifestyle was, depending on what her crimes are, what she done ended up in, and then she got to come in there and be sexually abused by other women. Like, it don't make no sense. Don't make no sense. So when we talking about where there's no consent involved, when the person is saying no, so there's no consent involved. When we're talking about sexual abuse incarcerated, all right, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that situation. no female should feel like they can have their body taken from them or made to feel a certain kind of way because of something that's going on. The sisters is having problems tonight logging in. I don't know why.
Do it to women, women do it to men.
So, Mama Sheree, you not logging in? That's what I'm trying to find out. Oh, you got some technical difficulties too. So I'm gonna breeze through this conversation. So, sexual abuse. You know that when we talk about family, when we talk about at that dinner table, things, the stories, the horrific stories that I've heard about my young girls being abused at the dinner table. And one thing always sticks out to me is that, no, it says you're disconnected. So you need to go out and log back in, Mama Sheree. Go all the way out and log back in. Because it says you're disconnected. So you there, Rene Michelle? Your voice still cracking up. I can't hear you.
Think about it. This is your significant other. Why would you want your son
I'm muted.
But I was going to say that I'm not sure how many people got this video, but somebody sent me, and I always wonder like that. Somebody sent me the video where a 5-year-old, this little baby could not have been no more than 5 or 6 years old. She was under 8. I'm gonna say under 8 years old. Was giving a grown man sex. Now I got to take a moment and that. Every time and the little baby was an African American girl, and the guy was an African American man. Okay. My glasses is doing a glare of something that I don't like. Doing something weird right now. Glasses are like my glasses. They help me see. But so let me say something to you. Let me repeat that to y'all again. The little girl couldn't have been no more than 8 years old. She was giving a grown man all sex. Okay. And not only did I see the video, but I heard the video. I heard this man moaning and groaning and telling this baby that she's doing it right there. That's what I need. If I could see him today, today.
This is Young Motive.
Look at my eyes, they going crazy because I cannot understand. I would never understand no garbage like that.
So QueenAfi, if you're listening,
I would never understand no garbage.
Check it out.
And yes, I reported it to the FBI. There was a couple of other people who said that they ain't reported it. But how did the video get to me? So it was going around, okay? And somebody know the work that I do, domestic violence with Rene Tag does out here in the community, and inbox it to me. Mama Sheree is still saying it's disconnect. So let me tell y'all something out there. If a child comes to you and says that they have been sexually fondled, sexually harassed, sexually assaulted, we need to rush them to the emergency. Rush them straight to the emergency.
It's disturbing and far from bliss.
Get the process started. Whether you feel like the child lying or not, male or female child, lying or not, take that child to the emergency or schedule an appointment ASAP with their pediatrician. Okay? If you feel like you confused and you're not sure if you want to call the police right away, go straight to the pediatrician or to the emergency room, urgent care, and start the process. All right. whether you feel like the child is lying to you or not. Let the professionals confirm to you that it was a lie. Or let the professionals confirm to you that this baby is telling the truth.
Stop and think about it. This is your significant
But
other.
you gotta go
Why
through the process.
you put your hands on his mother.
Now, if you know you the mother up here teaching your child, the father teaching your child that it's called nah poo poo and wee wee and pop, you're dead wrong. Because that's not what it's called. Okay? So we need our children to know their body parts. So when the professionals say where did someone touch you, that child's gonna know exactly where.
To teach these things, it's just my expression of how YMC's things.
They were touched. Which part of the body was touched? Because you can't tell a professional.
No need to feel ashamed.
My nana, my people, and my woo. I kind of think out myself. You can't, professionals need you to be spot on. So this way we teach our children their body parts early. We're teaching them, and you can get your you can have more conversations with the pediatrician regarding, the body and ways to start having those conversations with our children. And they can guide you the best direction to start having those conversations with children. But I say, look, if your child is 5, if your child can talk at 2, then they need to start knowing their body. Because even infants get molested and hurt and raped and beat, broken bones and everything else. Okay? And if you watch Steve Walker, he do a lot of them shows like that. And them people are not faking on there. Okay? That's real stories that he out here telling, trying to put these people to bed, these pedophile women and men, pedophiles who out here touching our little children. Okay? So I'm going to need y'all to take sexual abuse serious. That's what I'm going to need y'all to do.
So QueenAfi, if you're
And
listening,
Mama Sheree is still saying you disconnected, so you got to go all the way out. Maybe it'll let you back in again. I'm not sure. Rene Michelle is having issues with the mic. Is the mic check? It's still not coming in. She here listening in though. That's a blessing in itself. And we was waiting on Tia may come in in a few shakes or whatever. But you got your comment chat over there. Comment something, Renee, in the comment chat. If you could chat, where you at? Can you call? Yeah, you can call. Call in. You got the number to call? Put the number right here. Y'all want to call in? It's listen anonymous for sure. Because we don't want. There are some of us who want the information, but they want to remain anonymous in getting the information. And so we want to make that, a space for them to do that. All right. I put the number in the chat, Renee, so you can call in and speak to us too live. The other thing about this conversation is, guess what? You could be in an intimate partner relationship and get raped. Okay? And be sexually assaulted in your intimate partner relationship. That is going to be with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, or with your husband, wife, with your spouse. So, victims of sexual abuse always call me and say, Queen, you know what? Well, they told me such that I need to go ahead and pray about it and that the Lord will step in and take care of it. But divorce is not an option. Well, ask them to call my phone. Whoever told you that, tell them to call me and talk to me. Because that's bogus, right? That's bogus, right? There's nowhere in the world that the Creator will want you. Turn it off, please. There's no way in the world that the Creator will want you to be in a marriage with a partner or a spouse, and you sitting up here and you are getting raped by your spouse, because no mean no. It don't matter when the atmosphere, whatever the atmosphere is, no means no. That's just period. You see what I mean? So you cannot say that you cannot, leadership, clergy leadership, and spiritual ministers, Muslim, Hindu, Buddha, and whatever else you want to call it, the Israelite should not be telling sisters and brothers to stay and pray over sexual abuse. Stay and pray over sexual abuse. And it's the only way this woman or this man feel like that they can live a life as if they, you know, have a no in their heart, a no in their mind, but yet they still being taken advantage of. And let me tell you something, there was a brother who came out to my session, all right, and I spoke to him personally. He talked about being raped by a girl, by a woman. Okay, so don't even sit up here and tell me we gonna have a problem. If you sit up and trying to tell me that our young men are not raped by women, we gonna have a problem doing that. So, I mean, you need to do your research first, or you come trying to tell me that women
and I have a topic today
and men should stay in a marriage or in an intimate partner relationship and they being violated sexually.
Domestic violence,
because they being shattered to pieces
QueenAfi, if you're listening,
when somebody do that to you.
Check it out.
It's nothing. It is nothing. And this supposed to be somebody to say they love you and all this. It's nothing more degrading than being with somebody who, you know, shoot you down, treat you bad, you know, and talk bad about you, and then they raping you.
With the topic of the day, it's a crucial situation that we all must pay.
Some abusers are so weird and wild. They want to make children in this mess. So young girls end up getting pregnant by the dad woman. Then you got sisters who said they didn't want no more children. You got brothers who said they didn't want no more children, and the person instead of it and they pregnant.
Do it to women, women do it to men. It's a cycle that happens over and over again. It's disturbing and far from bliss. And each and every child is emotionally affected by this. I think it's time we bring the dark to the light. To stop the 911 calls in the middle of the night. So I'm reaching out and I hope it's worth my while.
Can you hear me? Because I can't hear you. It's my problem that I can't hear you. Well, you can't hear me.
The kids are crying. It's coming down like raindrops. It's a behavior we can't condone. It's breaking up our happy homes. Let's get it together, talk about it, and let them know that they're not alone. Domestic violence, it has to stop. The kids are crying. It's coming down like raindrops. It's a behavior we can't condone. It's breaking up our happy homes. Let's
that was where he, I ain't even gonna give him no credit. Anyway, I'm here.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, I got a lot to talk about.
Talk about it, girl. Talk about it.
Listen, okay. And I mean, this has happened today. You know, I had my own story pertaining to sex, rape, and molestation and all that.
Yes.
But today, I want to talk about the schools, the children. What happened today, I found out pertaining to my granddaughter. It wasn't involving her. Nobody touched her, but it was something that happened in her school.
Oh, okay.
This young man is in her class. He's had several problems. He's gotten suspended. He's done a lot of things. He has behavior issues. So my granddaughter comes out, they're chatting. These kids are on these chat lines and things now.
Yeah.
So they were on a chat line, and she muted herself, but she didn't realize that her girlfriend wasn't muted. So she said, such and such said her brother raped her and her little sister. And everybody that was on the chat line heard it. It somehow got back to the school. My granddaughter got suspended because she made that comment. Of course, my daughter is my child. She went up to the school and she got to the bottom of it. She talked to my granddaughter and asked her, like, where did you get this?
Mm-hmm.
And she told her. She told her that the boy's sister told her that.
Mm-hmm.
Come to find out, this child has been crying out for help since she was in 3rd grade. They're in the 5th grade now.
Okay.
The school has known. The school has known about this.
Okay.
Since the 3rd grade.
Okay.
Today, my daughter called me because she knows how I get. She called me and she said, "Mom, I gotta tell you, whatever." She said, "But I handled it."
Mm-hmm.
They contacted Child Protective Service. She contacted the police department. She contacted the school board because, for one, this is what the vice principal had to say, which is irritating to me because she said this young man has been through so much. We're just trying to do things to help him and work with him. So, what you're saying to my daughter is that the little girls that are getting raped and molested mean nothing to you. Because this young man has been traumatized, what he's doing to his little sisters means nothing to you and has not meant anything to you for the last past 2 years. It bothers me so badly because they're part of the problem. That vice principal is part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because you knew that this was happening to these children and you did nothing.
Mm-hmm. That part.
You did nothing.
That part.
And I said, "Why didn't you call me? I was off work today." She said, "Mom, I know how you are. I just went up there. Her and her husband went up there. This child has done everything. My daughter's Muslim. They Muslim. So the little boy knocked her daughter's, I don't know the name of the scarf that they wear. He took it off and threw it on the ground. He's just been having behavioral problems for years now.
What?
And they weren't trying to address it because, oh my God, he's been through so much. And God only knows what other children
that
he's touched.
Come on now, somebody.
Because let me share a little bit of my story for those who don't know. I went through the same exact thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was raped from the age of 5 all the way up. I was raped at the age of, it started off at 5 years old. I was raped at 11, and that was from family members. Raped at 11, 14, and 26 by strangers, people that don't live within my household. When I was raped at 14, the person that raped me, I found out after he raped me in front of his 2 sisters, had been raped in them all of their life as well. So that story that I found out today
is your story.
It got to me. It messed with me really bad because that was me.
Right.
That was me. And I know this woman, my dad's girlfriend, said, if he comes to this house, don't let him in. If he calls this house, don't let, they made so y'all know what's going on.
Right.
And y'all did nothing. That's how I ended up getting raped by your son. When people do nothing. So this thing is, and that's why I appreciate you, Queen, so much on all the work that we do, because these kids, these innocent kids, are still getting victimized like this, and it hurts.
Yes. It definitely hurt.
It's painful.
It definitely is. Especially,
and I don't care. I told you. I'm rocking out with you till I cross my hands and I'm in a box.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, ma'am.
And I mean.
Yes, ma'am. You did say that.
And
it don't
it's
make
really sad. But anybody, if you hear, I'm sorry, Queen. What'd you say?
I was saying, so I want to get into how closely related the story is to yours. So you got some triggers. You got triggered because it is very closely related to your own story.
I got triggered. And another thing that triggered me and bothered me because it's so closely to my grandchild.
Yes.
This little boy sits in her class and picks on her, bullies her every day.
OMG. And And where's his parents at? Is his parents involved? Is his parents involved?
No, parents are not involved. They gave them away or something. His parents weren't involved at all.
Oh,
I don't know the backstory on that, but his poor God, I pray for his grandmother. They said his grandmother is an elderly lady. She's trying to do the best that she can to take care of those kids, but she's an older woman. And the system is failing.
Yes, it is.
The system is failing. As long as they got a pot to piss in and the window to throw it out of, they don't care about what's going on with these kids.
Right.
And I praise my daughters. And I'm going to tell you right now, I thank my daughter because she said, Mommy, when I heard it, I said, I got to say something. Because that's the same exact thing that happened to my mother.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like the vice principal and sit back and not say anything.
Right.
And let these kids, and obviously this little girl is, I mean, of course she's suffering. And she's been suffering.
Yeah.
But she's still crying out for help and nobody's helping her. Well, she got help today.
Right. She got help today.
And I thank my daughter for being brave enough to say something.
So how did they help her today?
Child Protective Service was called.
Okay. Okay.
The police department was called.
Okay.
And the school board was called.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So nobody got them involved.
So they've been trying to do this on the back end.
It was sweeping it under the rug.
Sweeping it under the
The
rug.
school was trying to handle it.
Because the school didn't want to look bad on the books.
Exactly.
So the school is worried about the reputation.
Exactly.
That sounds like people at the dinner table worried about their last name.
Hello.
Before they even believe the child, they start saying, "Oh, our last name we don't do that. Our last name this and that." Who cares? Right. The child is saying that this is happening to him. Thank God. I mean, your grandbaby had to be used in this,
right?
You know,
right?
But something more needs to happen with this little boy.
Oh yeah, we Queen. You already know I'm following up. You already know I'm following up.
You got to follow up.
It's not just going to disappear. That's dead. I'm following up.
Yeah.
I'm going up to the school and I'm following up.
Somebody needs to have answers for this.
It has something to do with my grandchild. That was too close for comfort. Yes. And not only that, this little girl.
Yes,
this little girl. This little girl is me.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
She's me.
She definitely is. That's why it's so dear. That's why it's so near and dear to your heart. Let me see if Tia wants to chat.
I remember. I remember being that little girl, not being able to focus in school the whole class. I ain't worried about no class.
Yes,
I'm looking out the window, worried about what's going to happen when I get home.
Exactly, boo. It's so hurtful.
So it's something more has to be done. Like I don't care. I don't care what I have to do. I don't care. Something has to be done.
Right. Because sexual abuse ain't no joke, and especially when children are having to come to school and share this kind of stuff in chat rooms and all this stuff. It'd be a whole lot of stuff coming out in them group chats. They be talking about gun violence and who they gonna kill next and all of that in the group chats with the children. They talk. That's how the little car crew, the free car people, was able to get caught because all of them was in the group chat talking about who car they gonna steal next and who car they stole next. That's the children be in these group chats talking about who touching them, who fondling them. Hey, hold up, y'all. Hold up. Give me a second, cause Sister Rene, you on? Rene got disconnected. Hold up, y'all. I'm sorry. Yeah, but the children be in them group chats talking about who they gonna get to next and all kind. Let me bring T. T, you right? Chime in, T.
I was trying to see who that was. Rene talking about her grandchild.
Yes. Rene said at the school today she got a call about her granddaughter being in cahoots with this little boy who's been sexually abusing his sisters. I think that's right. Correct me if I'm wrong, brothers and sisters in the chat. But he been abusing his sisters, but he bullies her granddaughter or whatever. So her daughter took off and went up to the school to find out what was going on. Come to find out, the little girls had said this in the chat about their brother touching them. And so it all went out into a whole spew of get CPS involved, call the police, and let's figure out what's going on with these children. The school was hiding it. Rene said the school was sweeping it under the rug, like they always do.
How old are we talking?
They in the 5th grade. She said this been going, these girls, this been happening to these little girls since they was in 3rd grade, I think. And now they in 5th grade. So for 2 years, these little girls been crying out for help. The school supposedly know, but they haven't done nothing until today. When Renee's daughter went up there and said, I want to find out what's going on with this little boy, I guess, who keeps touching my son, keeps touching my daughter. So come to find out, I guess he is the brother of these 2 sisters or something to that sort. But technology been giving up on her and Mama Sheree. So it's just Rene called in. That's how she was able to talk. She called in to the line. So what is your take on sexual abuse? What are your feelings towards it? Because what do you recommend that people do in terms, or what do you advise? Because you're an advocate, you out here doing the work, you out here talking to people, you in the street, you bumping heads with these youth, with baby boomers in the elder community too. What do you recommend, or what do you think? What's your overall perception to help us start teaching our children their right body parts, so that when somebody is touching them, I'm just going in the left field right now. So when somebody touching them, they'll be able to say, so-and-so touched my breast, or so-and-so touched my penis. I want you to deal with this.
That's actually really important though. And I was going to say that because that's the problem, is no communication. Because you know from my story, just like y'all was talking about before Rene got cut off, it's never a situation of the child going to express to, well, I ain't gonna say never, but it's rare when the child expresses what happens that, number one, that the child is believed, and secondly, the child might be believed, but it's always a matter of what happens in this house stays in this house type of situation, and then children, you have to talk to children about their bodies, and you can't use these fake names here. You have to tell them exactly what their body parts are. You have to explain to them that nobody is supposed to touch you in this manner or that manner, or anywhere for that fact. And you have to make your children comfortable enough to feel as though if it does happen that they can come to you because you're going to help them. It's like kids feel afraid to have conversations with their parents. It's like, so if the parents aren't there to help the child, who do they go to? That's how people end up in these trauma-filled relationships, because you're bonding with someone according to your trauma, because the people that you feel are supposed to be there for you, they're not listening. They turning their back on you. They're not believing you, or you got to keep quiet about this and keep quiet about that. So it's like, where are you supposed to get your help from? But most importantly, people need to really understand what sexual abuse is. That's the big thing. Like, people don't really know what it means. Just like people don't really understand the true definition of domestic violence. That's why I'm so grateful for what we do, because people need to be educated. They really don't understand. And from when I spoke to the high school kids, it's crazy how people really don't understand something but will laugh about it, or try to make another person feel bad about their own experience or what's going on. And that's also contributing to why things are always kept on hush hush. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, where do people, everything is a learned behavior, what I believe. You know what I'm saying? So like with Renee's situation, this little boy, for you to be doing that to your sisters, like what the hell is going on at home? Like
they don't know what the backdrop. Let me chime into that. Apparently, the parents, they don't know what's going on with the parents. The children is with their elderly grandmother who have already raised her children. And that's a lot of stuff that's going on too. The children are getting left behind with their elderly grandparents. And so the grandparents have already raised their children. They don't want to be raising their grandchildren, but unfortunate circumstances maybe put this grandmother in this position where she had to raise the grandchildren because the parents, that's what I asked Renee. Well, where the parents? Was the parents involved? And she said no, the parents were not involved. And you went to Luke Seymour. I keep telling y'all out there, y'all better do the history on Luke Seymour, okay? It's not a school you want to play with in the district, all right? It's not a school you want to even bump with in the district. And so for them to let you, and I do mean let you, because they let me to come in there and talk about this conversation, T. Okay? They was feeling it, right? Yeah. They was feeling it. And you know that them young girls in there have definitely been sexually abused.
Absolutely.
Definitely been sexually abused. And we got young men in there that we are going to assume have been sexually abused as well. But of course, our brothers don't get a platform to speak about, our brothers platform to talk about it. So, they get left out of the conversation with their feelings and stuff that are involved. But yes, if you go to Luke Seymour and had this conversation and somebody pull you to the side and say, well, such and such and such and such, which they did do to you, Tia.
Yeah.
They was feeling like they could confide in you.
Yeah.
So what was it that you think that really pulled them into you like that?
I think it was because I was very transparent with them. Like, I was completely honest. I was like my first sexual encounter was with my cousin. And that.
Hey, you there? She kind of blanked out on you there, sis. See, you there? Rene Michelle, can you talk?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear each other. Everybody talking. Good.
Okay.
Go ahead. What you saying?
You were saying? So I was saying, I started the conversation off like that, and I think that really caught everybody's attention because, I was just transparent with them. I started from where it started all the way up to where it ended for me. And, the people, I think they felt relatable. You know what I'm saying? Because it was several girls who came up to me at the end just to talk. And I got a few of their phone numbers. And one girl, I'm still she haven't really been reaching back out to me. And I was going to call Tanya to see what was going on with her. Because she was really a concern for me because I needed her to step away from the relationship that she was in. And she knew it, but how you just need that extra push. So, but I didn't go in there I was dressed like them, and I think they felt like that none of them believed that I was as old as I was. So then that was another thing. So I think I just made them feel comfortable about you know what I'm saying. So we just had a conversation.
Okay. Good. Renee. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. Somebody chimed in with us. Hard part is some folks are against CPS because they say that they break up families. However, in a lot of situations, some families do need to be separated from the abuse. Children don't deserve any abuse. And that's coming from our brother on Instagram. the change agent now and forever. Thank you for chiming in, bro. He a scholar of domestic violence wisdom when he takes. He always chimes in with us. He is correct. What y'all feel about that piece? Because there's a lot of people that is sensitive to the whole CPS thing.
Well, for one, as far as I'm concerned, I honestly don't believe that they really do what they should do. To me, that's my opinion. They really could care less about the children, as far as I'm concerned, because I've seen situations where children were left. All the parent had to do was just, when they knew they were coming, fix everything up, the right way, the way they're supposed to be. And then they go back to, they don't investigate properly, to me. And I've known a few people that have children that have died in the care of CPS because the family member, because they didn't do their job.
Yeah.
They didn't follow up. And I'm not saying everybody is like that across the board, but at the end of the day, just like I told my daughter, you did what a lot of people obviously didn't do and wouldn't do. So I'm glad that she called whoever she called. And like I said, I'm going to follow up with it because I am involved, because my granddaughter was involved. So
they do just enough. You know what I'm saying? They do just enough to have some type of documentation that I did my job, and that's it. That's as far as we go.
Yeah, and they're not that different from the police department.
As far as y'all feel like.
The police department and most other jobs do just enough. They don't want to write a report, so they let stuff fly too. It's a lot of different organizations and jobs that are like that. But when it comes to kids, come on now.
Right. But even that's what I'm saying.
Priority.
Yeah.
Right. Supposed to be priority.
Right.
Like these are children, and then like you said, in a lot of situations, it's like a life or death type of situation, and y'all just like don't care.
They don't care because it's not their children. And that's what my daughter said to the vice principal. She said to her today, she said, "Do you have children?" And she said, yeah. She said, "Well, just put yourself not as a vice principal, but as a mother right now."
Yes.
And she said, "Well, I have to look at it from both perspectives because I'm both." My daughter said, "Well, ma'am, like if this was happening to your child, if those little girls were your child,
right,
would you do the same? Would you make the same decision?" She couldn't even answer my daughter.
But if she was looking at it from both perspectives, and I wasn't on him when you first started talking, but Queen filled me in a little bit. And first, let me say, I'm so sorry that happened to your grandbaby. Like, that's horrible.
Right.
But if she was looking, for me, I feel like if she was looking at it from both perspectives, it would have been a different outcome. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. If you were looking at it from both perspectives, you not only would have been, she just feels so much sympathy for the young man because he has a history. I don't know if he was molested as well, but he has a horrifying history, and she's sympathetic about what happened to him. So she's trying to work it out within the school so he won't get. This boy does not get in trouble. They don't. When he does stuff, he bust one of my granddaughter's friends in the head with a book yesterday, Friday.
Wow.
Nothing is done about this. He's a terror, and the boy, God forgive me, and I don't talk about kids because I said I don't do that, but I know it's something going on with him that's causing him to be that way. So that's why I say God forgive me for saying that. Something happened to him to cause him to be that way, but I'm calling it what it is. He's beating up teachers. He's beating up kids. He's bullying, and he's like 6 foot something.
Oh, wow.
Oh. He's towering over. They sent me a video of him.
What?
So basically, they're scared of him.
The teacher, my granddaughter's teacher got fired behind the same young man.
That's crazy.
I don't know all the details, but they probably laid hands on him because of all the stuff that they say this little boy has been doing. And if you don't give him any repercussions, it's just getting worse.
Right. Because he know he could do it.
He could do it. They feeling, he got her. Worse. Yeah, it's getting worse. It's spiraling out of control. But see what happened was they ran into the right ones. They ran into the right ones because it ain't going. It's deaded. Right. Now it's going to be deaded now, because I'm gonna go up to that school every day. Right. I need to know what's going on. Yeah. Because this young man is in my granddaughter's class.
Yeah. So that's what I told Tia.
CPS was called today for him and his sisters, or just
CPS was called today, and Rene Michelle said that this been going on since the 3rd grade.
Since the 3rd, no, I'm sorry, it wasn't called today. It was called Friday. I'm getting my days mixed up. You know, I work too much, but yeah, and this been happening since 3rd grade, and it was reported to the school police officer last year, and nothing was done about it.
Oh, MG.
Is that officer still there?
I don't know. I don't know if he's still there or not.
They be changing them officers. They be changing them officers.
Right. My daughter told me did she talk to the principal? Wow. And that's what she was told. And she said, because the principal did what the vice principal should have done. You know, she was compassionate. She showed empathy and everything. With my daughter's concerns, she acted like she was really concerned. Whereas though the vice principal was like, she didn't care. Her only concern was protecting this little boy.
Is she a friend of the family?
But that's how I was
or what?
Boy or something?
I don't know, but at the end of the day, if you're a friend of the family, you're gonna protect the whole family, not just the boy.
Right.
She sounds like she's a friend of the family doing all this.
She's going through this extent for the little boy, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that?
Well, from what I understand, the young man has been through a lot of trauma and hurt people. We all know hurt other people. But at the same time, I could see if you were, you trying to help him to get help, get therapy, whatever you need to do, and then helping the young lady, the little girls as well.
Right.
Nothing was being done for the little girls. The little girls still crying out for help.
Because they swept it under the rug, like you said.
Right.
They've been sweeping it under the rug.
Right.
So it's not.
And they just hoping that it'll disappear or something, or that,
that's how the process starts. Just like it started with me. Like that abuse is happening to those little girls, and it's just continuing. And so nobody's having any type of conversations with them. So in their time,
hold on, let me bump in there real quick. And it has potentially happened to him.
Yes.
That he was sexually abused too.
I believe that.
It potentially probably happened to him too.
It continues to go on. And so they think okay, and that's how it's supposed to happen, and it's not. Right. You know what I'm saying? So like she kind of gave all this attention to this little boy, but those little girls need help too. Like, what are we talking about here?
Right. I believe that because they thought that they were quiet, but the little girls were telling their friends since the 3rd grade. They've been telling people. My granddaughter was the only one that opened her mouth and said something.
Wow.
She the only one that didn't keep the secret.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Because she around the right group of women.
That's right.
Right.
Yep.
Right. She got the right women in her life who, you know what I mean? They know better than that. But we got to move on. I got one for y'all, and that is people with disabilities that are being sexually molested, sexually abused, sexually assaulted, sexually harassed, and some of the sisters are getting impregnated with these rape babies that have disabilities. Now, with this thing is going to be a little bit more, it's sort of still like on the lines of children, because we're dealing with people who cannot defend themselves.
Right.
We dealing with people who cannot defend themselves. But what should we say to this community of women and men who are being sexually? Because if you think about the little nursing homes, some of them go to blind schools. Some of them, they go all day and be getting, involved all day, socially involvement all day. And they are around people who take advantage of them sexually. And so what do we think about their cases? If we know something like this, who do we call on this? See, that's my thing is, who do we call for these different groups that are being sexually harassed or sexually molested? Yes, we know children. We could call CPS, and we call 911, and they are supposed to follow through with whatever they need to follow through when it comes to children. Okay, what about our people who are disabled?
Well,
who do they call?
I was a supervisor actually at a place like that, and it didn't happen on my watch when I was a supervisor. It happened when I worked there as an employee, where I'm not going to say the name of the people who used to pick them up. A few of the drivers were pulling over when they were bringing them home.
Wow.
Having sex with them.
Oh my God.
They got caught.
Oh.
They got caught. Thank God. They got caught. But that was that was happening.
That's just I just don't. I've never understood that. Just like with rapists, I've never understood that. Like, you clearly know that this person does not have a full understanding of what you're doing to them. You know what I'm saying? And you just don't care. Like, how can you even get off on that? Like, I don't understand. It's just so disgusting.
It's control. It's sickness. It's mental illness, because you got to be mentally ill to touch somebody that dislike that. They can't help themselves. A child or someone this intellectually disabled. You have to have a problem to do something like that. And but you don't have no. I mean,
I don't know. I can't say 100% of them have been diagnosed with a mental illness.
Okay, but that's
for having sex with people that have disabilities.
Yeah,
not disabled like that.
For sure.
I'm talking about. It's something wrong with you. Not like, mental ill like that, but it's definitely something wrong.
Something psychotic.
Exactly.
Something psychotic.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it definitely is. Anytime you can. And then think about it, because you was a child. So what happened in that person's life that they feel a need to sexually, touch a blind girl, or touch a blind man's penis and start messing and fun with him? Like, what happened in that person's life that you could do something to that? Which goes back to the little boy at the school. What happened in his life? Because he's going to grow up and do this stuff to people if we don't get a handle on where his psychology is today. And so they become older, and then they start picking their little groups that they know they can sneak and get away with it. So people don't pay a lot of attention to what people that are disabled. They end up
being that little boy is going to end up being that driver if something is not done.
Right. And one thing about the predator, the sexual abuse predator, he or she is always looking for ways that they can sneak and get away. And I mean, get away for years. They be planning in their mind, they're going to do this for years. Because she can't move. She can't speak. He can't move. He can't speak. What they going to say? You see what I mean? So they figure out little sneaky ways, ins and out, that they could pull that person by themselves and do things with them and do things to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so they can keep it a secret. And then some of them got the child like that. So you can say, look, I'm going to take you to the store and get you your favorite popcorn. You're going to get your soda, your Pepsi. I know you love a Pepsi. And they get excited for that.
Yeah.
So this person know that now, oh, she going to have to do this or he going to have to do this to get that Pepsi.
You know what? I just thought about, I mean to interrupt, cut you off, Queen. One of my clients, her name was Jeanette. She was in Crownsville back in the day. Remember Crownsville with the mental hospital? She was there. And they said that happened to them like it was a regular thing. That they was raping them people. Those So she ended up with us. The later days of her life, she ended up with us. Just as sweet as she could be. But whenever a man got near her, she couldn't see. She was blind. A man came near her, she could smell him. And she'd be like, use my expression. But she used to say, come here, I want to fuck. She's blind. But she knew what a man, she was blind.
Are you serious?
I promise you on everything I love. She was blind, but she knew when a man, if she heard a man's voice and he came, he'd be like, he could say, hey, Jeanette, how you doing today? She'll grab his hand, he'd grab her hand and, just be greeting her. She'll grab him like, come here. I want to fuck.
What?
And I swear. And I'm like, that was just a part of what she had been gone through all her life.
She had been through.
So that's what I was going to say to y'all. That kind of leads into what I was going to say, because I have a family member who I will call her mentally challenged. I'm going to say that. Like, you could look at her and tell it's, you know what I'm saying? So also with them, I think people underestimate their intelligence also, because in our family, it might not be now, but back then, because y'all know my story, like, that was common in my family, where it was, incest going on. I don't really know no other word to say, but I have a cousin who at one point in time, it was classified as she was being raped, but in actuality, she really wasn't. Like, she was welcoming these sexual encounters, but that goes back to my point of, look at the family that she was involved in, and nobody's having any type of conversations, and you see this stuff going on, so you think it's okay. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, to the point where she's had children by her abuser before. Like, so
and it got to start from somewhere.
Exactly.
It has to start from somewhere. She didn't just I didn't just automatically say, oh, come on, come climb in my bed at 5 years old and 6 and 7 years old. It started from somewhere. Somebody started touching her or doing something to her for her to know. We don't just know about sex.
Her mama's,
so it's from somewhere.
So for our community that is disabled, and it's a sensitive subject for all of us. Sexual abuse is a sensitive subject for all of us. But our community of friends and family, and us being employees of some of these places, what do we tell them about sexual abuse? Do we still have this conversation or with them, or do we wait till something happen? And then, or do we treat it like they in love? Do we just start saying, oh, that's going to be your husband one day, or that's going to be your wife one day? Do we start treating it, sexual abuse, like it's love to this community?
Definitely not.
Because that's even more psychotic.
Yeah,
to me.
Definitely not. Because that's kind of like useful what's happening.
Yeah, because that's kind of like sweeping it under the rug about what's happening.
Right.
So I guess if we come across somebody who is disabled and being assaulted, male or female, then we gotta tell.
We report it
first. You got to make the inside report first.
Right.
So you don't go outside and just call 911. You have to make the inside report.
You gotta follow protocol. I've done that, but it wasn't sexual abuse. It was abuse.
Okay.
I walked in and caught 2 people abusing one of my clients, and I reported them. But you got to follow protocol because you'll get in trouble if you don't follow protocol.
Okay, as an employee.
Right.
But what is it if the friend or family member who feels like they suspect their their loved one of being fondled with or raped, or in fact she pregnant and you knew daggone well she couldn't have no children. Now for the men, we ain't gonna know if his baby mother walking around pregnant with his baby. We not gonna know unless he literally can say, man, she was on top of me and that's my baby. Right. But what if the female got pregnant? And we a friend and family member and a parent or something. How do we report that? Do we stay inside and make a report, or do we call 911?
So you said if we are working there and the family is involved and they come around, do we tell them?
No, I'm saying if family suspect.
Oh, okay.
Their loved one is being touched or fondled with. Because some of them will jump when they see a certain person, they'll jump like you saying. She would say, come on in and let's do FUCK. Right. But some of them will jump back, lose their breath, and they start going into certain kind of panic attacks because they see the person. Yeah. So to me, I'm gonna be suspect of that. I'm gonna say, hold up, what's going on? I feel like something going on.
Well, that's Queen, that's you. That is you. And I appreciate you for that. But it's so many mothers and fathers that did not pay attention. They saw it. Okay. They saw it and saw their child changing, saw their child dressing provocatively, went from an innocent little girl to dressing like, a hoochie mama, as they say, and did not ask a question. We
talking about the disabled girl.
Okay, but the disabled girl. Yeah. Well, as far as that's concerned, I'm reporting it. I'm reporting it because they can't help. That's my job. That's my responsibility.
Right. What
are you?
I'm saying, as her parent, you suspect this or she's pregnant, you gonna report it.
Of course, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Who you gonna report it to? To the police?
To the poll. I'm gonna say something to the agency if wherever she's going to first. And I'm gonna address it with them so they can't say that they did not know that I did not say something to them. And then I'm going to take it a step further and go and make a police report.
Right.
So in situations like that, because I've never I've only done like volunteer work there. I've never like physically worked there. But like for situations like that, I know it's protocol that you have to adhere to. So you would contact the agency. So are you supposed to like give a certain amount of time to see if something's going to be done, or just report it to the agency and the police at the same time?
Well, what happened in my case?
If her stomach started growing,
What'd you say, Queen?
Go ahead, Renee.
In my case,
say if her stomach started getting big, and she started pregnant, and I know she ain't supposed to be having sex with nobody, somebody raped her.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. But in my case, I reported it to. Okay, this was the deal. No offense to no Africans or nothing, but I work with a lot of Africans, and the people that I caught were 2 Africans, a man and a female, that were fighting one of my clients, and he's strong, but he's a client. So I walked in and caught this. So I wrote it up, but the lady that was my supervisor was the girl's aunt. So I had to go a step further, and I reported it to the head nurse.
Right.
And she took it from there. And the girl ended up losing her job and her nursing license.
The aunt?
No, the girl, the people
that was
that
fighting
did it.
the
Yes.
Okay.
So they, of course, they couldn't stand me.
Yeah.
But I'm there. I'm not there to play games with y'all. I'm there for these people. So I'm going to do my job. And y'all shouldn't be putting your hands on them anyway.
Right. Because what's the...
In no way.
Why?
Right. In no way. Whether it's sexually or physically. You shouldn't be touching them.
And then it's two of y'all. Like, come on. What are we talking about here?
Let me tell you something. Clarence...
Somebody.
I'm going to tell you something about... I said his name, but God rest his soul, he dead. But he was strong. He was very strong. He's very strong, but that's not the point. Exactly. He don't have no reason to be strong. Don't put your hands on him. And every time those two came around, remember what you just said, Queen? When they came around, those two particular people, I'm like, what did y'all do to him? Why he get like that whenever y'all come around? And I walked in and found out.
Right.
Did you find out how long it had happened before?
You said how did I find out what?
How long it had been happening before you found out?
No, but I knew that he always would get agitated and start cursing every time either she came around or he came around. And I'm like, y'all done did something to him. I'm sorry. And I told him to their face, what did y'all do to him?
Hold up,
every time they would walk in a room. Like if I'm at work, I'm there with him, working with him, and they come in and we could change shifts or something. He would start cursing and just getting irate. Like he would just start. It reminded me sort of my dad, like my dad did when I found out my dad was being abused at that nursing home, and I got the guy. The same thing. Whenever this guy would walk in the room, my dad would start get out of here, MFer, and start cursing. He was nice to everybody else, but this guy, he did not like him. I told him, you done did something to my dad, and I went to the DON. After everything I found, I caught him. I popped up at 12 o'clock midnight.
I know that's
and put the code in, and that's where I found my dad. I found.
Let it be known that we will not tolerate abuse around here. She got blanked out. Oh yeah. Let's let it be known that we will not tolerate the sexual abuse around here, honey. People are getting wiser at their dinner tables. They do not want to be putting up and allowing things to happen to their children. There's still a whole lot of us who sweep it under the rug, but there's also a lot of us who are stepping up to the plate and saying we have zero tolerance for children being touched, for our brothers and sisters that are incarcerated being sexually assaulted and raped by the staff, not only by the inmate, but by staff members, especially youth detention centers. Our young people have been raped and sodomized in some of these sexual institutions. Okay. So we're not tolerating that. We have zero tolerance for coming into the nursing home or my family member coming with you. You picking my family member up on the bus. You're supposed to be taking them to work. You pulling over and having sex with my family. Like, we have zero tolerance for this nonsense, because everybody should be able to consent. And if you cannot consent, then that person need to go on about their business.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go about your business. You should not be, even on our college campuses, our young girls are being sexually assaulted and sexually abused. Our young men are being sexually assaulted and sexually abused on these college campuses. Okay. So don't let nobody say, like I told my little young girls recently, and we got to close out. I told them last week, do your research on your college about sexual abuse happening on the campus, about domestic violence calls happening on that daggone campus, and find out where is the wellness center at. Where do you go to report? How many, has the police officers, has the college displaying these numbers? Because some of them colleges don't even report these numbers.
No, not at all.
Report these numbers, okay? And I went out there and did massive research on some colleges, and it was a lot of numbers missing linked to sexual abuse, domestic violence, intimate partner violence, linked to rape, it was a lot of numbers missing, okay, in these situations. So let my young people know out there, y'all on y'all way to college. Y'all need to do y'all research about what does your college do, or what has your college done to help in this conversation. Domestic violence, a whole umbrella of other topics that the sisterhood get into, because it's our view. It ain't the view on Channel 4. What Channel View come on? Channel 4.
I don't know.
We got the real view up here, right here.
Right.
Okay, this is real view. All right. It ain't that one that Jenny on there talking about her and Jeezy breaking up. But Auntie, this one is about sexual abuse.
Right.
And we need to become more aware about sexual abuse. Okay. And Rene, you want to get your 20-second close out?
The only thing I'm going to say is what I've always said. Pay attention to your children. Nobody paid attention to me. And I ended up suffering from 5 years old up until I was a grown woman. And I finally decided to open my mouth and speak about it.
Yes.
So pay attention to your children. If you see your child changing in a way that they don't normally act, ask questions. If it's not you that they feel comfortable talking to, call your sister. There's somebody that they talk to that they're close to, and ask them to talk to them. Is something going on with her or him? Talk to them and see what it is. Just somebody do something. Don't just ignore it.
Sweep it under the rug.
Sweep it under the rug. That's right. So that's what I had to say, and just pray for the children. I'm just praying for the kids right now.
Amen. Tia?
Yeah, I agree with Rene, but on top of that, we have to communicate with our kids. Like, it's so if things were explained to me as a child, what was happening to me, it could have made things a lot easier for me as a grown woman.
Right.
And so people underestimate the intelligence of children, and you really cannot do that. These kids know a lot, especially in this world. These kids know a lot. They understand a lot more than you think, and they have to feel comfortable to come and talk to you. We have to provide that space for our babies. Like, if not, where are they gonna go?
Right.
Like, pay attention to them, but most importantly, have your arms open for them. Make them feel comfortable and love to come to that space to talk to you about anything.
And those hard topic table conversations. You got to be having the hard topic dinner table conversation, because if you don't, then we lead the children up for grab, and bad things start happening to our children like that. So as well as our family members and children that are disabled, we got to make sure that we are paying attention to how they react to certain people when they come into those rooms, or when they come closer to their vicinity. Trust me, they do have a panic attack. It's not just that they need their medication. It's something else going on in the atmosphere, in the environment. It's unhealthy because something could be going on. We have to just be fully at the front of our prefrontal cortexes and paying attention to those signs, like one of the sisters said, paying attention to your children. Okay. Asking our family members who are in some of these places, nurses home and abroad, are you okay?
Yeah.
Because you're not acting okay to me.
Right.
And I don't know if facilities have, psychiatrists on staff at, the nursing homes and things like that. But I'm assuming that they do. I'm assuming that there are counselors there or chaplains there to be able to help them if they feel like their loved one is faced with something like sexual abuse. But we for all of our brothers and sisters out there who have been sexually abused, assaulted, raped, sexually harassed over the computer, digital trafficking, because We ain't even make it to trafficking tonight. How the sisters is trafficking the young girls and get them into the trafficking life. I mean, I see that could be a whole Sisterhood View on its own, hunt. But we want to take a moment of silence for everyone, and especially Rene Michelle, Tia, both of y'all for sharing y'all stories tonight with us, letting us see, you know, that this thing is real. So let's just take a moment of silence for everyone who have ever experienced sexual abuse. Amen. Listen here, brothers and sisters. Thank y'all for chiming in tonight. Okay, we're gonna go in peace and love, and we want y'all to go in peace and love. If you know something, if you see something, if you're not sure about something, you can reach out to Domestic Violence Where's Many Tags organization, QueenAfi. You just want to chime in. You want to get a little bit more information. You're not sure. I'm in contact with Rene and Tia, so if you want to come through us to get to them, that is fine as well. We can hook that up. But you got, if you know something, you seeing something, you feeling something, it's probably something.
That's right.
Something. And you need to reach out, my brothers and my sisters, my teen boys and girls, my young people who won't get this check here tonight. Reach out in secret. All right, you're not sure about the police, you're not sure about the doctor, you're not sure about CPS, you ain't sure about that yet. We understand that. Right? You heard us tonight. Reach out. Now, nobody don't got to know that you reached out and tried to chime in and get some more information about what you feel like could be happening to you, or maybe somebody you know, or maybe your child, and maybe a church member, whoever it is. Okay. You can do it in secret. All right. So I want to encourage everybody to do that. Wear your teal tomorrow, because teal is on and popping tomorrow, because it's the last day of Sexual Abuse Awareness Month. So sisters, y'all make sure y'all rock y'all teal tomorrow. Queen will be in her teal. I'm in my teal tonight, and I'll be in my teal again tomorrow. Okay. Because I'm saying to you like this, my clothes is not a consent to touch me.
That's right.
Okay, we going, sisters and brothers. Let me say something to you. And some of y'all brothers, y'all be looking fine in y'all suits now, and y'all shoes and all that. Okay, don't get it twisted. All right. All right. Because some of y'all do be looking real cute in your stuff. All right. But some of it be a little too tight. But listen here. I'm gonna put teal on. I'm gonna put that teal on for everybody. You hit me tomorrow like I had on tonight. Okay. I'm not taking no for answers. I love y'all. Okay. I love each and every one of y'all. Thank you, Sisterhood View. Y'all the best. We are the #1 view talk show in America. Okay. Because we had them real dinner table conversations. All right, good night. Everybody go in peace and love. Thank you for chiming in tonight. Go in peace and love.
Love y'all. Good night.
Love y'all.
Good night. Good night. Good night, Sisterhood.
Get it together, talk about it, and let them know that they're not alone.
Stop and think about it. This is your significant other. Why would you want your son to see you put your hands on his mother? Leaving little man shook. It's really a bad. How you supposed to concentrate and keep his head in the book? How your daughter supposed to look up to dad? Don't you know that you're the first male role model she's ever had? The saying goes, a woman wants a man like a father. So what you telling her? To accept this from a man? You gotta watch how you talk to whoever you with. Words hurt, people forgive, but never forget. I guess it's up to a teen to teach these things. It's just my expression of how why MCs sting. Seek a shelter from